people who come to my program, Sugar Free Recovery, usually they'll have two main goals. Many times one of their goals is weight loss. People who are suffering from excess fat and want to, you know, lose. I hate that term, lose weight. They just want to lose the excess fat that's on their body. It makes them uncomfortable. They're worried about their health. And then there's the people who really understand about food addiction and maybe have been around the block once or twice or 100 times and really want to go through a process of detox and changing their relationship with food and just to feel like they control their food choices, they control what they eat, how much they eat, when they eat, instead of feeling like this obsession and feeling like enslaved to junk food and sweets and all these foods that they know are harming their health and their sense of well-being. But one of the most gratifying things that happen when people go off sugar and flour and ultra-processed foods is that a lot of times they're very surprised by the added benefits to exclusively eating real food. And I'm going to give an example of a participant from my program. So she has been off sugar and flour and ultra-processed foods. She came to me actually because of gastrointestinal problems, and she knew exactly what she's supposed to eat, but she wasn't able to stick to the food plan that she knows is best for her. So we worked a lot on changing the relationship with food and on, getting a food plan that works for her. And now it's been 3 or 4 months. And she came to me and she said, Tsippy, I have these cysts on my feet, on the soles of my feet, that cause me a lot of pain. And just recently I went for imaging, for a follow-up on the cysts. And like when I got the appointment for the follow-up, suddenly when I realized this appointment is coming up, it made me realize that it's been quite a while since I've suffered from pain from these cysts on my feet. And I know this is something that's not going to go away and I have to learn to live with it. And then I went for the imaging in my follow-up exam, and the guy who did the imaging, he said to me, your cysts are still there, but all your signs of inflammation around the cysts are completely gone. What did you do? Did you change something? Did you do something? And she said, yeah, I went off sugar and flour and really eat I'm eating a whole foods. And he said, well, that's amazing because it's just completely taken away the inflammation around the cysts on your feet. And this is something that, she didn't even think of when she started this program about eating whole foods. Her feet were not part of the conversation ever, except until now. And this is one of the most gratifying things that happens with the participants of this program is that many, many times they're so pleasantly surprised by the added benefits of going off sugar and flour and eating whole food versus ultra-processed food. Because when we start eating foods that were meant for human beings rather than all these chemicals and stuff. So a lot of these foods, not only do they promote promote production of excess fat, and not only do they also cause a lot of harm with chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease and Alzheimer and it promotes cancer, and a lot of times it can mess with young women's fertility and pregnancy complications. And all of these things are basically a lot of the chronic problems that modern medicine is dealing with today are actually causes of chronic inflammation. So what happens when you start eating foods that repair inflammation? So a lot of times there's a lot of side benefits that happen that people weren't thinking about, weren't ready for, but really, really, really enjoy them and really get a lot of, it really improves their quality of life. What can improve your quality of life better than not having pain when you're walking, right? And many times young women who take part in my program afterwards tell me that they got pregnant very easily afterwards. A lot of times people who have skin problems, they find that there's an amazing improvement. So really let food be thy medicine. I can't tell you how true it is. If you're fighting some kind of chronic inflammation, look at the way you're eating, because this many times just eating whole food and refraining from eating foods that promote inflammation, foods that are highly processed, foods that have lots of sugar, even if it's natural sugars, foods that have lots of starches, or, the carbohydrates have been manipulated in a way that they cause sugar spikes and promote inflammation. Seed oils that are very also highly processed and cause a lot of inflammation. So if you're suffering from inflammation, changing the way you eat can many times be more effective than any medication. Like for many, many medications that cost thousands of dollars and have lots of side effects. And this is the medication that you don't need a prescription for, pretty cheap. You can find it in any local grocery shop and there's no side effects. So think about that if you really are having problems when it comes to inflammation. And if you would like to get off ultra processed foods and detox from, and stop eating sugar and flour, but you just find you can't do it on your own, well, that's what I'm here for. I'm a nurse and an international ultra processed food addiction expert, and my sugar-free recovery probably can help you to get into that frame of mind and food plan, a personalized. And if you totally understand this and really want to start eating whole foods and abstain from ultra processed, sugary, starchy, inflammation promoting foods, but just can't seem to do it on your own, my sugar-free recovery program can help you. So put your details in the contact form below and we can set up a strategy call to see how I can help you. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it, and I will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.